Grades simply cannot help us to know what we have done well or how we could do better. In our survey, we discovered that numerical grades can have a negative impact on the students' learning. Grading is a primitive form of feedback that is at best unhelpful and at worst harmful, and we're going to challenge this. The best kind of feedback actually requires the absence of a grade. You talked about grades as a motivation, but I'm afraid that you're wrong. Unfortunately, in education, we're distracted by grading. We have been distracted by grades, honor rolls, achievement, winning, losing, test scores, data. The list goes on and on. Did you know that Thomas Jefferson was arguably one of the most well-educated Americans of his time? He was well-read, thoughtful, and knowledgeable in a wide variety of topics from the arts to the science. The same could probably be said of Ben Franklin. On the larger world stage, we could credibly make such claims for René Descartes, William Shakespeare, Galileo, Michelangelo, and Plato. But there is one thing unique about the education of all these people, which is different from that of you and me. None ever were given grades. All attended schools or had teachers who worked entirely on a pass-fail system. Grades do not give us deeper insights into the topics of study. Instead, grades force us to memorize only those details necessary to pass the test, without regard to true comprehension of the subject matter. Grades don't encourage critical thinking or insight skills, don't promote a questioning mind. Such behaviors are useless in the graded classroom. Responsibility for the success of learning has shifted from teachers to students. When we fail, it is our own fault because maybe we have a defect or disorder of some sort. Also, you mentioned that students need to be evaluated. You also said that if you don't have a good mark on PSU, you don't have a future. But have you ever stopped to think about your students' self-esteem? I don't think so. Self-esteem, however, is generally not measured in schools. Indeed, at times it seems as if modern schools were set up specifically to minimize self-esteem, producing instead completely and unthinkable robots for parents and teachers of the machine of industrial society. Proposition 2. I am sure that you have heard about emotional intelligence by Daniel Goleman. If you don't, he lays out in great detail how the factors that contribute to a happy, well-adjusted adulthood are not necessarily good grades or even high IQ. In fact, study after study has shown that there is virtually no correlation between grades in schools and success in adult life. Think about it. To conclude, we should embrace education with all our heart and remember that schooling is only a small part of the puzzle. The remainder is what we have to discover and solve through our own journey.
Now both teams have